The headline may be Elon Musk's net worth, but the real story is what happens when space becomes a genuinely useful infrastructure. And that begins today. Get my free 5-star rated newsletter every single morning. Sign up at getkim.com. You know that glow that you see on people just seem to radiate health. It's not just great lighting. It's what's happening inside their body. And one of the best kept secrets to looking and feeling amazing is collagen. You see, as we age, our bodies naturally produce less collagen, which can lead to wrinkles, thinning hair, brittle nails, and just feeling less flexible than we used to. The good news is that you can support your body naturally. With high-quality collagen from Native Path, you're giving your body the building blocks it needs to support smoother-looking skin, stronger nails, and shinier hair. And some studies also suggest collagen supplements may help support bone health too. You see, it's
my nails are very strong.
I know we want to do that, but we just can't. It's about feeling your best at any age. And right now, as a Kim Commando listener, you can get Native Path Collagen for just a fraction of the retail price, plus free shipping and a free gift bundle. Just go to getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to
she changed her
any disease. Individual results may vary.
Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show, is now everywhere you are. Talkback is now streaming live on X at Sedla Update, plus Facebook and YouTube at KSYL.
Used to be next week, and now she changed to something else. So like my brain's
Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome on in. It is Friday, and you gotta love that. I'm Al Portermont. This is Talkback, and we thank you for joining us. Stephen will be in a little bit later today, but Trish Lala is in for him right now. Good morning to you.
This time I'm actually supposed to be here for him today. Happy Friday.
Yeah, oops.
Oops.
Last Friday. But hey.
Last Friday, it was a couple minutes before right now as we're about to go live, and I finally figured the computer out again. And he walks in the door.
I know. What are you doing?
Why are you here? Never mind. Last Friday was my birthday, too.
I know. That was your birthday.
It was terrific. It was a terrific day, yeah.
So they made a waffle bar over in the office.
I know. She was amazing at that. So I got some amazing people at my office. And, we had a waffle bar. I got to go show some fabulous properties first. After I left here, had a little waffle bar, had a little gathering that evening, had a bunch of friends. So it was a wonderful birthday all around.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. It's been your birthday week, really. Right?
I mean, it is my birthday month, right?
Oh, month, yeah.
Although I do share it with my daughter. So I'll take the first half of the month. She can have the second half of the month. And then we put Father's Day in the middle there, too. So anyways, as I say that, shout out, hi, Dad.
Oh,
Dad's listening this morning. He just texted because he must have seen our post.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hey, you got you all lined up for your SpaceX stock now?
Yes, I'm buying 1,000 shares.
Right? I knew you'd have that all lined up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing what SpaceX has become, because I remember it was a few years ago, The Atlantic wrote an article about the rise and fall of Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's poised to become the world's first trillionaire. I don't think the fall quite happened like they predicted.
Right. There was a really cool, I'm trying to find it right now, a really cool article in the Wall Street Journal yesterday that Todd shared with the kids and I. And it was how to, it detailed out. You have no idea what $1 trillion is.
Right.
Really. Putting it into perspective. And it was crazy when it talked about, you think a million and then a billion.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just put the trillion right there, right?
Yeah.
And sorry if you're watching on the screen, my hands are talking for me.
What else is new?
It happens with me. I can't help it. And the screen's not even big enough to catch my hands as I'm
Use
talking.
this screen over here.
There we go. And but the trillion is so far away, and it talks about if you stacked up pennies, how far a trillion pennies would go, and if you were scrolling, how long it would take you to scroll, to get to 1 trillion versus a million and a billion. It was so mind-boggling just reading that article, and to think about that's where this could go. We will see.
Yeah. I saw this morning where if you had bought Apple's initial public offering. Their
Mhm.
stock back in 1980 was $22 a share. So if you had bought 100 shares at $22, $2,200, it would be worth over $6 million today. Like, geez, what? Of course,
Remember
I
Apple in
was,
1980?
I was
Man,
a freshman in high school, but
I was what, 7? So I wasn't buying a whole lot of stock right there.
no, I should have mowed more lawns and invested in Apple stock. My goodness, what was I thinking?
Who knew? But boy, was that a flashback in my brain.
Yeah.
Remember all the first,
Yeah. And one of the Back to the Futures where Doc was like, you can't build a time machine for financial purposes or something like that.
Yup.
Oh, but you wish you could.
Oh, but you see what happened when he tried to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, can't mess with the way things are there.
Man, that brings me to the sports betting, but I know we got to talk about that later on with our guest probably.
We will, yeah.
I'm trying to stay away from any sports talk until our guest comes later.
And we'll have Glenn Gilbo on again in the 8 o'clock hour. Big autograph signing coming up tomorrow over at Spirits from noon to 2. Gilbo is the editor of Tiger Rag magazine and the author of that book on the life of Skip Birchman, should say. And so he, along with Warren Morris, will be at Spirits. Warren wrote the foreword to the book, and Glenn will be there. He's the author of the book. You can get your copy of your book signed. So pretty cool stuff.
Very cool stuff. I'm one of those, and nobody from the LSU land shoot me here, but I'm one of those that I knew Warren as Warren first because I was not at that period of time. I had nothing to do with LSU or Louisiana, and moving here, our daughters are the same age. I knew him as Warren and the dad to his girls.
Right.
Then I find out all of that. Like, wait a second, wow, that's really cool.
He even said that in the documentary they did about the home run.
Yeah.
That was like 5 years ago, the 25th anniversary.
Right.
He said, in Alexandria, everyone just kind of knows me as Warren Morris from Red River
From
Bank.
Red River Bank, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who was it that called in the other day when you were talking about it? It was like, yeah, you walk in, second door, second office. Well, it was the first office, second office, and you just pop your head in, you say hi, chat with them for a little bit,
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Who knew?
he said he would take his
Was
daughters
next to
down to
such
Baton
greatness.
Rouge to LSU games, and
Yep.
they couldn't get over how much attention you would get.
Well, it was really cute at Rotary because, we had the new LSU president. Wade Roos was our guest speaker the other day at Rotary, and Warren was there and actually brought his two of his daughters to that also. And he made the comment about how starstruck he was when he saw Warren out. He had to go walk out there and shake his hand and say hi to him and chat with him for a little while. He's like, wow.
All these Alexandria people are like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, because, Warren is such an unassuming
He is.
person.
Absolutely.
Down to earth. Great
Absolutely.
guy.
I mean, I might be wearing the T-shirt every day and telling everybody if it was me.
Really?
Really.
No.
You wouldn't have guessed that, right?
Oh, no. Yeah. If Auburn wins another national title.
We have won a lot of them in a lot of sports recently, Al. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Just because we're out in baseball right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what?
So, Ole Miss, you lost to Ole Miss.
Yes, I realize that.
World
Thank
Cup
you.
is today, the opening rounds, which will be happening at stadia, I believe, across the U.S., right?
Oh, absolutely. They're all across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So,
yeah. And I know what we're about to talk about, which I'm so excited to talk about. But I don't understand why they spread it out across all of these places when we have so many more stadiums right here.
Yes.
We actually, last year for our anniversary, we spent some time in Doha where they held the last one, and learning how they built everything and the infrastructure that they built just for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And they talked about the economic impact of hosting the World Cup because it is unreal how many people travel to watch their teams play in this.
Oh, yeah.
And then I look at how we're doing this, and I'm kind of wondering why we didn't a little bit follow suit when we have some great college football stadiums out there that hold a lot of capacity.
People, sure.
88,033 in one night to watch a friendly.
Yeah, and among the people she's referring to that was at the Auburn Stadium the other day.
Yeah.
So there's this guy. Well, what's happening right now is you're getting a lot of people from Europe and other places that are coming to the United States to track their soccer teams.
Right.
And they're finding out that America is a lot more than New York or Boston or Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are flying to America at those various points and then driving to follow their respective teams. And you can track a lot of this online, especially on X, where you've got people that have created their own accounts to do this. So there's one guy, his name is Freddie LA7.
And I hope he's listening because he caught himself being talked about on the radio yesterday or the day before.
No, it was yesterday. Yeah, he was driving through. Trying to think, he was still in Mississippi, I think, and he was driving toward Louisiana.
Yep.
And the radio station they were listening to started talking about their trip and how they love Ella Langley. Is that a country singer?
Yeah. She's a big thing right now.
Oh, she?
Yeah. And he's
not
like,
my genre.
they kept playing her on the radio, and so he kept talking about how much he's enjoying her music, and so they played that song for him. But he really exploded on one night, Al, and that was the night that he spent at Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn at that game between where Messi was playing on the field, and the place was absolutely packed. And I know I talk Auburn all day long, but they pulled out all the they had the eagle fly.
Yes.
And he's got a picture there of the eagle flying and says, "This is the European mind can't comprehend this moment of my life."
Yeah.
One of my friends said, "Punch me 5 times tomorrow and I'll still think that this isn't real." And so in that moment, he became such an honorary Auburn family member. But then later on that night, because it ended up being such a late night, he posted that he had gone to Buc-ee's.
Yep.
Because there's a Buc-ee's there in Auburn now.
Right.
And actually they ate dinner at 1 a.m. at Buc-ee's, and he posted a picture of them eating their Buc-ee's sandwiches on top of the bags of corn. Like, you can't get any more Buc-ee's than that.
That is so true.
And I think those two things just exploded his following.
Yeah. And
now it is so enjoyable. I mean, the Babylon Bee even had it there. World Cup Stadium empties as European tourists all just hang out at Buc-ee's.
That's so true. And you actually pass by a Freddy's. His moniker is Freddy's. Like, I got to eat here. Last night they were in New Orleans. Hopefully
I can't wait to see what he posts. Yeah. From last night.
He did post that they tried to grab a late night snack in New Orleans at a Waffle House, but they had to eat in the parking lot because Waffle House closed the dining area and only allowed takeaway.
I never knew Waffle House did that.
When
did they start doing that, Al?
I don't know.
I thought you could go to Waffle House anytime.
It is New Orleans. So
we got that, and we wouldn't know because we don't have a Waffle House.
That's right.
Right?
That is.
I know, another great, there's so many, if you get on X right now, though, the videos of all these European tourists, there was a great video of a couple British guys who were watching their game yesterday. It says Europeans who came for the World Cup are realizing why it's a necessity for American homes to have air conditioning, because he's talking about how hot it is. And I'm sitting here like, you're not even in Louisiana, dude. Like,
yeah. Just wait.
They're like, we're melting.
Hey, let's get a call in before we get to the bottom of the hour. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning, Al. Good morning, Trish.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So while we're telling Warren stories, I got one more to tell you.
Okay.
So first of all, when Coach Cordero was out at LSUA, he had a mentor team, and we were on the mentor team. And Warren had mentored this young man for 4 years. He was a senior. And in those 4 years, he had never mentioned one time about what he did and who he was. So we had a dinner one night, and I asked the young man, I said, do you know who that is? And he goes, yeah, that's Mr. Warren. I said, no, I'm wondering, do you know who he is and what he's done? And of course, he had no idea. Now, this was 4 years now of him mentoring this young man. So I showed him the video of the home run, and he turns and looks at Warren and goes, bruh, you never told me.
That's awesome.
Bruh.
That tells you who Warren is. He never told that young man in 4 years who he was and what he had done.
Not surprised.
I'm telling you, I don't know how long I knew him before I realized it. They're put two to two together. Yeah.
If it's because what we said the other day. He's a better human being than he
Absolutely.
is a baseball player.
Absolutely.
He spent 4 years with a young man that he never bothered to tell. I just thought I'd throw that in this morning. Y'all have a great morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your contribution. That's a great story.
I know that is. And I'm like, yeah, completely believable. Like I said,
Yeah.
I might be wearing the T-shirt every day.
We had him on a few years ago for opening day of MLB, and he dropped a little factoid on me that I didn't realize, which was he actually closed out his career in the Milwaukee Brewers organization. He spent a year down in AAA back when they were playing in, I think it was Spokane, and he was on the same team as like Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun and the guys that became kind of
Wow.
that generation of really great brewers. And I was like, oh,
Were you like, how did I not know that?
I know, yeah.
A little bit of brewer
Yeah,
trivia
I mean-
that Al did not know.
Everyone knows his LSU prowess, but
Right.
he actually finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting with the Pirates as a rookie in '98-ish, I think it was, somewhere around there. But then he kind of had injury issues. Just never kind of got to that same level as that rookie year. But
Again, something you would not know.
yeah, a lot of major league rookies now are signing these deals even before they're rookies. Like teams are identifying this guy's going to be really great. So we have a choice. We can bring him up and have him for like 5 years until they go to free agency,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't afford them, or we can offer them like an 8-year contract at a decent amount of money per year. And that way we don't have to go to arbitration. And
Right.
so it's kind of interesting. So
That whole process.
Yeah.
I don't even understand it.
yeah, well, the money side. All right. We need to take a break. State Representative Chuck Owen's going to join us on the other side. We'll be right back.
KSYL.
This is the Bloomberg Money Minute. SpaceX has made history with the biggest ever initial public
Good morning,
offering,
Chris. Wow.
launching it into the top ranks of
Hey, good
largest
morning. How you
public
doing?
companies.
Good. How are you?
It's
I got
also putting
Trish
founder
with me today.
Elon Musk on the verge of becoming the world's
Hey,
first
stranger, how are you?
billionaire. The company raised $75 billion in the IPO prices at $135 each. SpaceX will begin trading later today on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol
All is good
SPCX.
here. All is
Turning
good
to
here.
market action, the stock soared yesterday as President Trump signaled
Excited
the
to be
U.S.
in here for a
to a
morning.
deal with Iran.
Let's get
The Dow jumped 930 points. This morning, traders are cautiously optimistic it will be finalized soon. Futures are pointing to a higher open. And robo-taxi company Waymo is introducing a $30 monthly membership program that promises faster pickup
I
times
just asked
and
if we could
credits
get you on
for
in the
future
next
rides.
couple weeks.
Well, there you
Waymo Premier
go.
will be offered on an invite-only basis. The program is a new way for Waymo to monetize its cost-intensive self-driving technology. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Watch out. The summer slump is trying to take root. Luckily, you can plant a seed, read, with Rapi's Parish Library's summer reading program for all ages. Read what you love, log your minutes, and win cool prizes, books, fun, and freebies. That's how we grow at RPL. From kids to grown-ups, every book helps your mind
I bet
bloom
ours
this
is about
summer.
90
Visit
days. We're about
RPL.org
90
to find
days out
summer
from
fun
ours,
near
so I'm
you and
starting to
start
get into that
growing
little
at
bit
your
of
library today.
time that, okay, what else do I still need to get done?
Oh, good morning. Starting out with some patchy
ahead of
fog in
time.
some spots this morning.
Congratulations,
Turn
that's
off
awesome.
quickly. The sky's becoming sunny. A warm day. The afternoon
Early
high near
stars.
95. That heat index is high as 104 this afternoon. Be careful. You have to be out in that heat. 76
Oh,
under
wow.
clear skies
Yeah, this is
overnight
our
tonight.
first
And then our
one,
Saturday
so-
looks like we'll start out the same. A little bit of fog,
First,
sunshine, 95 for the high.
No,
Good chance
yeah,
of rain
tell me
this
about it.
From the Sentinel Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BON Bank talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BON Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talkback.
All right, we are back on Talkback on this Friday morning. I'm out Portamont along with Trish Lala. So glad that you could be with us. On the phone with us is State Representative Chuck Owen from House District 30. That's the Leesville and the Ritter area. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Good to hear y'all's voices.
Anytime you're on the road, you're always apt to give us a call. So we appreciate it. And thanks so much. Hope you're doing well. I haven't talked with you for a while.
Yeah, I am. All is good. I told someone the other day, I feel like I have just gotten up from a 3-month dental visit. I feel like I've been getting root canals and teeth removals for 3 months, and now I'm home and I'm trying to work my way through the aftermath of the pain. But it's all good. I'm glad to be home and glad the legislative session is over.
Kind of comparing it to getting a root canal.
That's really good. I like that.
Oh, goodness. So I was driving in this morning and catching Louisiana Radio Network News. Their lead story was how school and superintendents across the state are not too happy right now about the governor's plan for the schools themselves to take on $170 million in funding for public schools that would be used to give the $2,000 stipend to teachers. And Jeff Powell, the the Rapides Parish superintendent, was on there and said that he's not very happy about it at all. So what are your thoughts on that whole proposal? Because I know it does have to be approved by the legislature.
It's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. As I say all the time, I wish I had 3 more wishes. And I wish Amendment 3 had passed or we wouldn't be here. And there was no other route that was part of the budgetary process, because Amendment 3 seemed like such a simple idea. You know, what got lied about in that whole thing was that there were people said we were going to raid the teacher retirement system, and in fact we were going to pay off most of the teacher retirement system's debt. Right. And the truth got distorted. I know that's a fancy way of saying lied about. Yeah. It was the teachers unions and other groups who just don't want Louisiana to succeed that were telling lies about that. But once that cow's out of the gate, then the decision point became, do we try to find a way to offer up another stipend this year, as opposed to a permanent pay raise? Now, we'll say up front, and I say with an outside voice all the time, the state needs to do better. It certainly needs to bake in an actual pay raise, but so do the parishes, guys. Mm-hmm. So do the parishes. The legislature has always popped in the nose about not providing better teacher pay, but teachers are parish employees.
That's true.
100% are parish employees. Yeah. The state augments their pay, and the state also provides funding, what's called the minimum foundation plan. There's a chunk of money that goes to every school district every year based on numbers of students. And so there is a concern, as I understand this, what drives this, there's a concern that the minimum foundation plan might not be fully utilized the way that it's intended. So I think that's what the directive from the governor is, if the legislature approves it, is for them, is those school districts to take a chunk of the money that the state's giving them. This isn't their money. This is money the state is allocating to the districts to use for the operation of schools. So that's what's being asked to create. I have not spoken to my superintendents. I owe both of them in-person visits. I need to go sit down with Superintendent Williams in Vernon and Superintendent Holly in Beauregard and their financial people and find out what the ramifications of this will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've not heard anything good or positive from any school district about this. Mm-hmm. At the same time, I only hear positive about the direction of our school systems.
Right.
Our scores are going up. We are better in classroom instruction and achievement than we've been in a long time. Certainly in my memory of public life, or my memory of the last 20 years living back in Louisiana. We are moving in the right direction, and a great portion of that is tied to the performance and the effort of these teachers.
Absolutely.
So they need to be rewarded, because this is not happening on accident.
No, that's a great point. And I mentioned Superintendent Powell. He also very much over the last year has talked about that retirement amount of money that the districts have to send constantly to help pay off that debt, that if they could alleviate that, then they could afford to give those raises. So you made the point, it was the teachers union, and also we know a lot of people were just in general unhappy with what's kind of been going on down in Baton Rouge and with with our governor, and it just seemed like it was just a blanket. We're voting no on everything as a result.
That was exactly what I was just going to say. It was a blanket no to just everything.
Yep.
And ironically and sadly, Amendments 2, 3, and 4 very much predate the governor.
Yeah.
Those ideas have been around a lot longer than Governor Landry's been down there. Now, some bad feelings were created last year when the amendments failed the first time because the administration put multiple topics inside of these amendments. They put a lot of junk in there that were unrelated.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just do one big amendment. And it's like, no, that's going to make people mad. Well, it did.
Yeah.
And then suspicion grew. And then the response from the state after that, among some senior folks, was basically, y'all are ignorant. You don't understand what you're doing. Well, people are like, okay, you're going to go ahead and backhand us. We'll backhand you back. And so I hope temperatures will come down, and wiser heads can prevail on these issues. Because look, the inventory tax is hurting businesses. It needs to be gotten rid of.
100%. 100%. That's what I was going to say. I don't know how do we get that message out there any better that, we need this to pass for the sake of all of our small businesses. We've got small businesses closing left and right in our community right now.
Yes, and the amendment to create a school district in the community of St. George, no one in our part of the state should care about that.
Right.
I really don't believe it's any of our business to vote on, but we have to. Our Constitution mandates that. If the people of St. George want a school district, I don't think the people of Sabine or Vernon need to even have a dog in that hunt. It's not our business. But our decrepit, old, failing Constitution needs to be rewritten. But we do these things because the Constitution mandates that we do that. We need big change in that Constitution. But then when we try to do good things, it gets folded up in bad things. And it's sad for me. It makes me very sad for our citizens that they have the frustration, and they just. I'm sorry for them. I really am. And hopefully we can all take a breath and do better.
Yeah. Well said. All right. We need to take a break. Chuck, can we keep you on the line?
Sure.
All right. We'll be right back. State Representative Chuck Owen, our guest here on Talkback.
Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show, is now everywhere you are. Talkback is now streaming live on X at Sedla Update, plus Facebook and YouTube at KSYL.
A man's word should still mean something. Honesty matters. Character matters. So when John Fleming was hauled into court twice in 2 months for running untruthful ads filled with lies, and twice forced to take down the lies, that tells you everything about who Fleming really is. Fleming's lies couldn't hold up before a judge, and his lies shouldn't hold up with you. Fleming hasn't just been lying in his ads. He's been lying to cover up his liberal record. Fact, in Congress, Fleming voted against Republican border security funding. Fact, Fleming gave your tax dollars to Barack Obama to protect sanctuary cities and block the deportation of illegals. Fact, Fleming lied about his job with President Trump. Lie after lie after lie. John Fleming is a fraud who cannot be trusted. Visit FlemingIsAfraud.com. Accountability Project paid for and is responsible for this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Accountabilityproject.la.
Remember when eating corn right off the cob was one of your favorite summertime treats? Or how about taking a big bite out of a crisp, fresh apple? If it's been a while since you enjoyed these delightful activities, chances are your teeth are no longer up for the task. But now there's great news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville are Cenla's dental implant experts. They're both highly trained and experienced in the procedure. Now with thousands of completely satisfied, delighted patients. They make dental implant surgery simple by using today's most current technologies, along with in-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. You'll be in and out before you know it, without all the anxiety. Plus, at Today's Dental, their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Go back to crunching all your favorite foods. Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 east in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goethe. That's 448-4540.
From America's #1 travel radio show, I'm Robert Carey with today's edition of your RM World Travel Minute. With the summer travel season here, I'm sure many of you listening have plans to be on the move somewhere. If you're looking to rent a home this summer, I saw a report from Zillow listing the highest rental markets, but I thought I'd share them with you today to help prevent some of the sticker shock you're going to encounter, or give you a chance to plan travel elsewhere. Providence, our home city of New York, and San Francisco top the list, but LA, Chicago, Boston, and Virginia Beach also rank high. Now, then we've got the folks at Pods, those portable moving containers, who say they're seeing people move the most currently to Myrtle Beach and Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina, the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas, Knoxville, Tennessee, and in Florida, it's Sarasota and Jacksonville. In the western part of the U.S., they say Boise is seeing a lot of action as well. Plan your trips accordingly, folks. And when you factor in all the America 250 celebrations happening as well, summer 2026 is one I think we'll be talking about for a while. To connect and share your thoughts, visit rmworldtravel.com. Have a great day, everyone.
Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Stand by. All right, we're back. State Representative Chuck Owen is our guest, calling in as he's on the road doing a little driving. We covered some ground regarding the teacher pay raises and what that could potentially mean for school districts. We got some other topics to talk about. I understand you might be interested in a little bit of a career change. Is that right?
Career change?
No, I don't. That was bonus content for Facebook only. Now,
I am a retired Air Force officer, so
There you go.
I have no career. I am a part-time. I'm a part-time elected official. The state qualifies me as a part-time employee. So yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a part-time job.
those 3
right?
months, we're very part-time right there.
Yeah,
Right
you
there.
only work 3 months out of the year. Yeah, sure.
That's right. So,
However,
so were you recommend were you referencing the Senate campaign or the documentary?
Yes, I didn't know about the documentary until the commercial break, but let's start with the Senate campaign.
Oh, my good friend Michael Reese, who has been a great senator, and I love him very much. He's been a good guy. Has been named the president of McNeese State University in Lake Charles. And so the day that he announced he was accepting, I said that I would step up to try to replace him in the Senate when there is a vacancy. And I used my words intentionally, because we don't know when the vacancy will happen. Last year, there was a senator from New Orleans who was appointed president of Southern University New Orleans, SUNO, and he dual-hatted for several months. So there is no immediate election envisioned or on the dockets, and I think the Senate president has some special projects that he wants Senator Reese to keep doing, and I think he's going to wind up being dual-hatted for several months, actually. So
okay.
When it happens, it happens. I like being in the House, but the idea of being in the Senate is interesting, and I think I will take a crack at that as well. The duties are very similar. It's really what it comes down to is you have 3 times the amount of work and no new pay.
Hey, that sounds like a great deal. Why would you not do that?
Great gig right there.
Opposed to representing 44,000 people, you get to represent about 125,000.
Yeah.
The district is all of Vernon. It's all of Beauregard. It is a portion of Rapides, so it slips over into the very western side of Rapides Parish.
Yep.
It's a portion of Calcasieu as well, so it's a much bigger area. Much of it's the same. I think for good or for bad, I'm probably a known quantity throughout the district because of the way that life has evolved in the last couple of years because of some of the topics of the day. So I am eager to try to do that, but it's not time right this moment.
All right. Well, keep us posted on all that. Sounds like we have a couple local state reps that might be looking at a little change like that.
Change, yeah. Yeah. Big things on the horizon.
So, yeah, I'm really excited about Abe's announcement.
Yeah.
He is a man. He's a man of the highest character, and quite frankly, I'm a big fan of Representative Eccles too in Monroe, who's in the race, and Miss Cordell. So that will be an interesting race of good guys against good guys.
Well, hopefully it won't have the ads that we're seeing currently in the Senate race. Good grief.
Man, that thing's been ugly as a school bus wreck. That's been terrible.
Yeah.
That's been an awful race, and the involvement of the third parties going after Dr. Fleming has just been detestable to me.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been absolutely detestable. So I hate that when we wallow in those level of politics. I hate it.
Yep, I agree. 120%, if that's even a thing. Hey, before we let you go, tell us a little bit about this documentary that you're working on.
Well, about 10 years ago when my wife moved back to Leesville, I came into possession of some statistics that the newspapers have put together. What people don't know, Al and Trish, is that there's no such thing as standardized stats for high school sports. It's all organic and it's all local, and sometimes things disappear. And so having stats is really it's different everywhere. But these guys had started and had pieced about 40 years together. I took it and I finished it all, got it all the way back to as far as it would go. And then all of a sudden I wound up with a whole bunch of data and information, and I put out a book or two. And then as I did that, I wound up with a lot more data. And it's like, you know what? Why don't we just do a documentary? So I sat down about 6 months ago, started piecing together film and news stories and things like that, kind of in the same way Ken Burns did the baseball story. And I've created the history of Leesville football. Wow. And it goes all the way back to, we started playing in 1910, but there were actually Leesville athletes who were lettermen at LSU as far back as 1907. So I don't know how any of that worked. There were 3 guys over there that played on the Tigers before 1910. So the story is built. A lot of great film, a lot of great news reports from KALB and KLAX and KPLC, all this open domain stuff that's out there. A lot of news reports from the Alexandria Town Talk when it was a thing. And so it's a narrated story with video. We're going to show it. Tentative plan is to have a public viewing of it on the 1st of August at Leesville High School and use it hopefully as the beginning of a capital improvement campaign for athletics at Leesville High School, not just for football, but for all the sports. So I'm really excited about this, the way it turned out. Kevin Mawai has helped me with it. Eddie Fuller. We're gonna try to get as many mostly fans and supporters of Leesville there to see it. The Leesville Auditorium can hold about 1,400 people. So that's what we're doing. I don't know if it's ever been done in the state. So I'm kind of going to throw a gauntlet down to any fans from Ash or Peabody. Peabody's got a great story. I can tell they put a documentary together on Coach Smith's years there and all of the wins of the War Horses. So it just takes time.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Personally, I know. It takes hundreds of hours really to put a documentary together.
It really does. And I built it by decade. And oddly enough, I started with the 60s because I had a good bit of stories from there. And then I went from the 60s forward and got all the way up to right now. And then going back to 1910, that took not as much time, but it took time. If you want to do it right. And then when I got done with it, I realized it needed some professional help. So I employed a professional videographer in Baton Rouge who does a lot of work in the Capital Region, and a guy from down there who does a lot of film for LSU. And so it is professionally edited, and it doesn't really look like an old man on a laptop built it anymore. So I'm pretty. In fact, I'll send you guys a link on your email. I'll let you see the intro. I've got the intro carved off. I'll let y'all see that sometime.
Awesome. Yeah, would love to. Great. Well, keep us posted on that as it gets closer, and on the Senate thing as well. And thank you for taking some time with us here this morning.
Well, thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
All right. And State Representative Chuck Owen, House District 30, Leesville, DeRidder, Beauregard, and Vernon parishes. Our guest here on Talkback. We'll be right back.
Taking part in the show is easy. Call the BOM Bank Talk Line at 442-8255.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well,
Butterbean Queen. Learn more and schedule at CumminsRecall.com.
I start every workday morning off the same way. I stop in and pick up breakfast at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express. It's convenient, quick, and oh so good. Croissants, biscuits, breakfast subs, and their hot coffee is the perfect pick-me-up. They always ask me why I'm in such a good mood when I get to work. Improve your mood. Stop by Wilmore's any weekday morning from 6 till 9 and get your day started right. That's Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express right there on the corner of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR presented by Juan Cigar Bar. College World Series is underway and a massive official visitor weekend for LSU. We'll have it covered 3 to 6. Alexandria's 94.7 ESPN.
Listen up, Louisiana. Things are heating up this summer. Let the sunshine pay off with 3 fun scratch-offs from the lottery. Scratch fast, win faster. The race to cash starts with Quick Sevens. Win up to $7,000. Feel the rush with every scratch. Unleash the wild side of winning. Play Wild Win Doubler. Win up to $20,000. Winning just got a little more wild. Why wish for luck when you can play Double Your Luck? Top prize, $500,000. Double your luck, double the fun, double the cash. Play all 3 Wild Summer Starters, Quick Sevens, Wild Win Doubler, and Double Your Luck, where you could win a whopping $500,000. Louisiana Lottery, celebrating 35 years of reasons to smile. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we are back on Talkback. Al and Trish with you here on this Friday morning, and so glad that y'all could be with us as well. 318-442-8255, our number. We got a couple of minutes before we hit the top of the hour, and then again coming up at 8:05, Glenn Gilbo will be back with us on the show. Talk more about tomorrow's appearance over at Spirits between noon and 2 o'clock. He'll be signing his book on Skip Burtman, and also we'll have Warren Morris there with him. Warren wrote the foreword to the book. Let's go to the phones on the BOM Bank Talk Line. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Yeah, I know I call right at the top of the hour.
You always do.
I'll tell you a sports documentary, or at least a sports podcast someone should do. The number of quarterbacks in the NFL that either played high school football or college football in Louisiana. I think you will find that out of proportion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Just at NLU, I mean, there's quarterbacks with Super Bowl rings. Bubby Brister, Doug Peterson, Stan Humphrey. I mean, you go back to the 70s, you got Burt Jones, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Ferguson. I mean, for a state our size, we have well, not we, because I haven't done anything to add to the NFL quarterback. But for our size state, somebody should really document that, because if you just do a cursory search, it's unbelievable. The number of NFL quarterbacks that have played. I mean, just look at the Manning brothers, played high school football in Louisiana. I mean, name another family that 2 quarterbacks from one state, one family, have won Super Bowl MVPs.
Al, I think there you go.
On it.
This is your thing.
I know that there's a new Billy Cannon documentary that's going to be coming up this fall as well on LPB. So that should be interesting.
Is it about his counterfeit ring?
Yeah, they said it will include his legal troubles, time in prison, and then his work later at Angola helping other prisoners. So,
right. Well, I tell you what, the number of people that were at that game on Halloween night when he ran that pump bag were more than the attendance of Woodstock. I'm convinced.
True.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks for the call again. Appreciate you. And we're out of time for this hour. But as we said, coming up in hour number 2, Glenn Gilbo will join us from Tiger Rag Magazine. We'll talk about a lot of sports stuff. So we're looking forward to that as we continue here on a Friday.
It's not a done deal. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the word today from Iran, though its foreign ministry does say terms are mostly finalized in an agreement with the U.S. President Trump says there is a deal to end the war.
And most importantly, we have a deal that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon.
But the conflict isn't quite over. Fox Business's Max Gordon reports from Dubai.
U.S. forces reported shooting down 2 Iranian attack drones that were attempting to strike commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. This after President Trump canceled strikes on Iran last night. President Trump also says that a memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran could be signed in the next couple of days.
Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before.
Oil prices are down almost 3% this morning. WTI about $85 a barrel. That's still $20 higher than before the conflict started. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising on hopes of a deal. The day after a market surge, the Dow gained more than 900 points, getting back Wednesday's big losses. And one stock could blast off at the opening bell in a half hour when SpaceX starts trading in the biggest initial public offering ever.
$75 billion worth of shares. We're expecting a share price of $135.
Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis.
If all goes according to plan, CEO Elon Musk could become the world's first trillionaire. In addition, and this is important, some 4,000 employees will become millionaires, at least on paper, due to their stock options.
That's Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis. An update on the search for Nancy Guthrie more than 3 months after she disappeared in Arizona.
A federal law enforcement source telling Fox News that Nancy Guthrie is still missing after an anonymous tip sparked a massive search in Mexico. The tip claimed that Nancy was in a shallow grave in Nogales.
That's Fox's Carly Shimkus, but there was no body found in that search. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-809-7171. That's 800-809-7171.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Guilty pleas in Minnesota from Vance Belter. who avoided the death penalty, admitting in federal court he targeted Democrats in shootings last year that left former State House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark dead, and State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette wounded. Belter's plea deal will have him sentenced to life in prison without parole. Today marks 10 years since a mass murder in Florida.
49 people were killed when a gunman opened fire inside the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, and an annual observance is planned. The Pulse Remembrance Ceremony will feature performances from local artists, including the Orlando Gay Chorus, and a special presentation by the city's poet laureate. A candlelight ceremony and reading of the 49 names will conclude the event. At the time of the massacre in 2016, it was the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. Recently, city officials unveiled updated plans for a permanent memorial that will feature a healing garden, reflecting pool, and tributes to those killed, and will be built on the site of the former nightclub. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
There is a federal pushback in Virginia to a Democrat push to curtail immigration enforcement.
2 new Virginia laws go into effect in July. One restricts law enforcement from wearing masks. The DOJ is suing to block those laws. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said in a statement, Virginia's anti-law enforcement policies regulate the federal government and are designed to create risk for our agents. But Democratic Governor Abigail Spanberger said she's concerned about untrained ICE agents. She posted on X earlier this year, our broken immigration system is something to be fixed, not an excuse to terrorize our communities. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Soccer's World Cup's underway. Mexico and South Korea won the opening matches. Tonight, Team USA plays Paraguay at Los Angeles Stadium. Last night, Carolina beat Vegas 4-2 to take a 3-2 lead in this NHL Stanley Cup final. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Sean Burns. Local school superintendents are not on board with Governor Landry's plan to use $168 million in funding for public schools to pay a $2,000 stipend for teachers. Here's Jeff Palermo.
Landry says his plan is doable, but repeats Parish School Superintendent Jeff Powell sees it differently.
Gross misunderstanding of the way school finances work.
Landry's executive order says non-instructional dollars will be used to pay the teachers, but Powell says those dollars fund operational costs and allows students to learn.
You have to understand the many nuances that come with public school funding.
Landry's plan needs 2/3 approval from both the House and Senate. Lawmakers have been asked to mail in their votes by June 23rd. I'm Jeff Palermo.
The city of New Orleans has announced a new task force to address blighted properties across the city. Officials say the new adjudicated property task force will address more than 6,500 city properties stuck in the tax adjudication process, many of them for years or even generations. LRN. Early voting for the U.S. Senate runoff election begins today, with these races determining once and for all who will advance to the November general election. ULM political science professor Pearson Cross says while there was great anticipation leading up to the May 16th primaries, there seems to be a sense of apathy leading up to the runoffs, at least on the Republican side.
It's clear that Trump's endorsement did end Cassidy, at least with primary voters. So in this case, voter interest has probably ebbed a great deal.
An early below average hurricane season is now forecast to be even more so. Researchers from Colorado State University have revised their original prediction down from 13 to 11, with just 5 hurricanes predicted now, 2 of them still expected to be major. While this is good news, CSU researcher Nick Mesa says you shouldn't let your guard down.
All it takes is one storm for this to be an active hurricane season for you. So we always advise coastal residents to really take your preparedness actions now. So that way, if a storm does threaten your area later on this season, you are prepared and ready to go.
LRN.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily delivery right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs. Quality, value, service.
Oh, good morning. Starting out with some patchy fog in some spots this morning. That'll burn off quickly. The sky's becoming sunny. A warm day with the afternoon highs near 95. That heat index is high as 104 this afternoon. Be careful. You have to be out in that heat. 76 under clear skies overnight tonight. And then our Saturday looks like we'll start out the same. A little bit of fog. Sunshine. 95 for the high. Good chance of rain on Sunday. From the Zenlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian. It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, it's hour number 2 of Talkback on a Friday. Al Quartermont along with Trish Lala. Glad you could be with us. And we were scheduled to have Glenn Gilbo call in. Don't know if we got our signals crossed, but I did text him. So hopefully he will still call in. If not,
you got you and I.
That's right.
Right?
We can talk.
Really?
Just
I've never been accused of being able to talk much.
Not too much. Not too much. The gift of gab.
Well,
hey,
go ahead. See? You talk. No, you talk. You talk. What you going to say, Al?
I was going to say just a reminder that early voting gets underway across the state of Louisiana today. And we do have a pretty important Senate race that's on the ballot. That's for the June 27th election. But also here in Rapides Parish, we have a number of key tax votes that you'll want to make sure that you vote on. Hang on, I'm calling it up and I can let you know exactly what we're looking at there. So we have also the runoff of, if you live in the city of Pineville, District 5 for your council member. We have the renewal of the sheriff's tax, 9.6 mils for 15 years. That's parish-wide, as is a parish-wide school board tax renewal, 12.06 mils for 10 years. And then you have several kind of more local district tax renewals. District 62 has a couple of them, and Pineville School District, as well as the Poland School District. And then there's the Gravity Drainage District number 2 for those of you who live in that district.
Well, I think the big thing to remember on those two parish-wide ones it's a renewal, right?
Yeah,
Both of them are a renewal.
Right.
Yeah. So just pay attention to the wording. And go vote.
I know in the case of the sheriff's tax, it wouldn't kick in until like 2030. And when we had Sheriff Wood on the other day, he said that part of the reason they do it now is because if for some reason it doesn't pass, then you can put it on a later ballot.
They got time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a lot of anti-tax sentiment happening in the state and in the country, and understandably so. But
back to what Representative Owen was talking about. Yes, we have that sentiment, but yet the state still voted down getting rid of the inventory tax.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me, Al.
No, that's just, to me, was a protest vote against the governor.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it ends up being a protest vote against small business.
Right.
And like I said, for those 2 seconds, have you noticed recently how many of our small businesses locally have had to close down?
Yeah.
And, when I tour people around the area that are new here and are thinking of moving here, that's one of the things that I really, really love to tout about our area is how well we support our local owned businesses here. Mm-hmm. And I mean, look at the announcements that Stephen's done recently on chains that are coming to this area.
Mm-hmm.
There's business, there's the money is out there. People are buying things still. Yes, the economy is bad, but they're still going and buying their whatever dollar coffee, that we're going to have 4 new coffee shops pretty soon around this whole area.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you have all these other small businesses that are closing too. And it's things like that inventory tax that just kill them,
Yep.
Yep. I'm sitting here with a prime example. I've got a building right down the street that I'm trying to find somebody locally. It'd be great. I mean, not that I'd turn down a national chain, but I'd love to have a local owned business in there and bring that building back into commerce. I mean, that's why we bought the building. It had been sitting there empty for about 20 years. Before my time here, before your time here, it used to be the House Beautiful. Everybody that grew up here remembers it being House Beautiful. But then when they closed the door, they just let it sit there. And I mean, the roof had collapsed in. It was so dilapidated and just sitting there. So when that opportunity came up, it's right next door. I love, this whole Texas Avenue area. We created the Mid-City Alexandria area specifically for all these businesses right here. It's such a walkable area. You've got everything, how many restaurants, you've got the hair salon next door there. You've got all of these things right here. Perfect place for a local owned small business to go. We repaired the roof, put in the infrastructure, did all that. It's a shell waiting for somebody. So waiting for somebody with a fabulous idea, but local, we need to support them.
Yeah.
We've got to support these local businesses.
Right.
Look, a prime example too, and we all do it. How easy is it now to get online and order something online and have it delivered to you? I was talking to the owner of Run Wild the other day, and that are friends of ours, and how many times they have people that come in, try on shoes, look at shoes, take a picture of the shoe, and go home and order it online.
Yeah.
What you're doing is killing our local economy.
Right.
Right. It's the same price. She said the price is the same.
Yeah.
It's mandated.
Wow.
But, so there's my little
Yeah.
shop local, people, if you can.
We're just living in a weird time where we've got this kind of constant battle going on between this online economy and then the local economy, the national economy. And so many times it's all framed in the negative when really, in a lot of ways, it's better than it's ever been.
Absolutely.
But in some ways, you have some very real struggles. Like I would think for sure for any local small business, Nick Miculus made a post about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Having to have insurance.
Believe me, we know.
You 100% can thank Obamacare for that.
Yeah. We're small business owners. Yes, we know.
Yeah, it
insurance
is
killing us.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. We've always been a nation that has encouraged entrepreneurship, small business.
It's the American dream, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But government has made it nightmarish, and it's 100% on government. So, if you have economic forces like the development of the internet, the businesses that can adapt to that and figure out how to utilize it for their benefit are going to win.
Yeah.
And now you've got to have to enter AI into the whole picture.
You do.
With all of that. But in a lot of ways, that can improve productivity. So you do have that benefit as well. It's just things are constantly constantly in change.
But it's been that way through history. It's always been that way.
I shared
the next thing.
I shared an article on my Facebook page yesterday. It was written by a 26-year-old college student who's in grad school for her MBA. And she said, my generation is blind to the prosperity around us. I'm sitting in a small coffee shop near Nokomis, Florida, trying to think of what to write about. I scroll through my newsfeed on my phone, looking at the latest headlines of presidential candidates calling for policies to fix the so-called injustices of capitalism. I put my phone down and look around and see people talking freely, working on their MacBooks, ordering food that they get in an instant, seeing cars go by outside. And it dawned on me, we live in the most privileged time and the most prosperous nation, and we've become completely blind to that. Vehicles, food, technology, freedom to associate with whom we choose. These things are so ingrained in our American way of life that we don't give them a second thought. We're so well off here in the U.S. that our poverty line begins 31 times above the global average. 31 times.
Exactly. Right.
Virtually no one in the U.S. is considered poor by global standards, yet in a time where we can order a product off Amazon with one click, to your point, and have it at our doorstep the next day, we are unappreciative, unsatisfied, and ungrateful. Our unappreciation is evident as the popularity of socialist policies among my generation continues to grow. Congresswoman AOC recently said in Newsweek, talking about the millennial generation, an entire generation which is now becoming one of the largest electorates in America, came of age and never saw American prosperity. Never saw American prosperity. Let that sink in. She said, when I first read that statement, I thought to myself, that was quite literally the most entitled and factually illiterate thing I've ever heard in my 26 years on this earth. But a lot of young people agree with her, which is entirely misguided. My generation is being indoctrinated by a mainstream narrative to actually believe we've never seen prosperity. I know this firsthand. I went to college. Let's just say I didn't have the popular opinion, but I digress. Why then, with all the overwhelming evidence around us, evidence that I can even see sitting in a coffee shop, do we not view this as prosperity? We have people who are dying to get into our country, people around the world destitute and truly impoverished. Yet we have a young generation convinced that they've never seen prosperity. And as a result, We elect some politicians who are dead set on taking steps toward abolishing capitalism. Why? The answer is this. My generation has only seen prosperity. We have no contrast. We didn't live in the Great Depression or through 2 world wars or Korea or Vietnam, and we didn't see the rise and fall of socialism and communism. We don't know what it's like to live without the internet, without cars, without smartphones. We don't have a lack of prosperity problem. We have an entitlement problem, an ungratefulness problem, and it's spreading like a plague.
That is fabulous.
Yeah.
That is absolutely right.
I thought it was really good.
I know, because it takes me back. I'm thinking back, I've just been going through a lot of stuff from my grandparents, that we've been finding from their time and then my parents' time. And, as you look back through all of that, that rings completely true. Look at what they lived through and the time period that they lived through.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And this generation has not known any of that.
No. So
they've had a cell phone. I mean, if you're 18, you've had cell phones have been around since you were born.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smartphones.
Isn't that amazing?
Smartphones. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Wow.
That's pretty good.
All right. Well, we need to take a break. We'll come back with more on Talkback.
Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show, is now everywhere you are. Talkback is now streaming live on X at Cenla Update, plus Facebook and YouTube at KSYL. When you think of real estate, one name is at the top of the list: Ritchie Real Estate. Matt and his team are experts when buying and selling homes, businesses, land, leases, or even industrial buildings. And at Ritchie Real Estate, they can even handle all of your property management needs. They make the entire process easy and as stress-free as possible. They are your full-service choice for anything in real estate. Trust the professionals and find them online at ritchierealestate.com.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cinela's best at Riccato's Restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Riccato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back on Talkback, and as mentioned, Glenn Gilbo joins us again on the phone. He's got a big book signing coming up tomorrow at Spirits between noon and 2 p.m. We talked a little bit about that on Wednesday, but wanted to get a little more in-depth this morning. Good morning, Glenn. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate it.
We were talking in the commercial break that you and Trish have a little bit of a connection. The time that you were working in Montgomery and did some coverage of Auburn football was a time that...
Well, I have to if he was there while Bo was still playing, then that was actually before my time.
Okay.
And that means that my AI was wrong on some of the articles that you covered for Auburn.
Imagine that.
Okay. Well, you're younger than
yeah, I was there from 92 to 95.
Oh, okay. Well, I covered Auburn for the Mobile Register in 1994 and 95 when Terry Bowden was the coach.
That's what I saw. Yep.
Yeah. That was a neat time. Had covered Alabama for 2 years, and then covered Auburn. It's a lot of driving up 65 from Mobile to Auburn, but no, those are good times.
On that note, one of the things that was kind of on my mind after talking to you the other day is you have been covering college sports for quite a while now. When you wake up and look at what college sports has become now in this era of NIL and transfer portal, specifically sports like college football, basketball, baseball, what does a guy like you think about all this?
Well, I think it's terrible, and not just because I'm, the old man, 64. I think I would dislike it if I was young too. It's just it's so distracting, is what it is. The quality of life in the NFL, coach, media, even fan, I think is better because it's more organized. There's a clear beginning, there's a clear end. Free agency doesn't bleed all over the season like the portal and NIL does with college and recruiting. There's just no end to it, and it's frustrating, I think, for fans. And college, they can't decide what to do. How many playoff teams? Yeah. What's the window for the portal? They never can make up their mind about anything. Whereas the NFL is of course, it's easier because they just got 32 teams and not all these other sports, but they're just more organized and they know how to market themselves. But it's just not nearly as fun as it was with the players constantly leaving, and you're just doing so many stories that aren't sports related. You're doing a lot of these business and governmental stories, and that it gets old, and I've even heard the kids say that too,
Yeah, it's different. And I think you lose some of that loyalty aspect as
absolutely.
well, where, you've
lost all of it.
Yeah, especially guys that had like a pretty good career at one school, maybe just for their senior year, they all of a sudden go somewhere else. And
it's like a gap year.
Yeah.
It's like wanderlust, I'll go here for a little while. I'll go here for a little while,
Right.
and it really, they don't realize it because they're young.
Yeah.
But it hurts their education, and it also hurts their development. That's what Nick Saban has said a lot. If you don't have the same coach at least a couple of years, you're just not going to develop well.
Right. Yeah, and kind of to your point, as we're getting ready for the College World Series, so much in the news this week has been about which players in the transfer portal are going to other schools all of a sudden. So you have these teams in the College World Series. Do they have players that are already saying they're going somewhere else? And those coaches that are trying to prepare for World Series games are trying to look at the transfer portal and get guys to come for next year. I mean, that's kind of what you had happen in football.
That's what football was.
And even basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, last year, Jay Johnson, while in Omaha, spent his mornings on the phone trying to get portal players.
Wow.
And, if Warren Morris was playing nowadays, he might have transferred after his first couple of years at LSU and never would have hit the home run, because he redshirted. Then he was Todd Walker's backup. He had to wait his turn, So it was better when players, I think it was better for their own development when they stayed and waited and kind of earned it.
It kind of ties right into the conversation you and I were just having, Al, too, with this generation and the entitlement of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not the star on day one, then you're going to transfer somewhere that's going to make you the star on day one instead of putting in your time and making it a 4-year gig.
Exactly. You got guys entering the portal or thinking about entering the portal after they've been at their first school for 6 months because they're not the starter. And the parents have a lot to do with that.
Absolutely.
They haven't learned to wait and work for it.
Well, and you mentioned Nick Saban, and what made Alabama so great in his tenure there was he recruited players to his program who would come in and they would sit behind these great players for a couple of years, then get their chance, bring in new guys that sat behind them, get their chance. And it was just this machine where you might lose guys after their junior year to the NFL, but you had that guy could step in who had spent a couple of years there, knows exactly what the system is, has tremendous talent. Now you're kind of losing that underlayer of development for that program. Now, some would argue it's better for the players because they get better opportunities elsewhere. But I think to your point, over time, how much will that degrade the actual quality of everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think these kids are going to look back and wonder what it would have been like to stay at a school for more than 9 months,
right?
Something like that, because they need some kind of limit on the transfers, and they are working on that. That's in the bill. But it was an overreaction, because before the players they couldn't transfer unless to a certain school unless the coach said it was okay,
right?
And they had to wait a year. I think waiting a year was smart. It made them make their decision, but they just kind of overcompensated a little too much the other way. So now they kind of got to bring it back to the middle.
Yeah, and even with the NIL money, I mean, before you couldn't even, if a kid came to your school, let's say he's from Los Angeles and he's coming to Alabama or LSU, and his grandma dies, and he's maybe from a family that doesn't have a lot of money. You couldn't give him money to fly home.
Right.
Meanwhile, his jersey's selling in the bookstore for $100.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm not completely against some level of compensation, but now it's become basically its own professional sport in a lot of ways, for the big boys anyway.
Yeah, and NIL started where they were just going to get money off of their name and image and likeness. That was aimed at jersey sales and everything, but it went far more than that because they just couldn't understand it or organize it, So yeah, it was bad, but they definitely overcompensated. And the sad thing is when major schools and most schools were cheating and paying players under the table, that made more fiscal sense because they were paying the right players. They were paying the players who deserved it. Now you got guys getting money before they even start playing college, and they're not that good in some cases, and they're spending way too much money on them overall.
Yeah, there's a young man from Iowa State, Milan Momcilovic, who just transferred to Kentucky. He's getting $6.5 million.
That is so crazy. That is crazy.
I mean,
and you know what's lost in all of this?
Yeah.
These are college players, right?
Right.
College is the part that is completely lost. During the break, we were talking about how you got to cover Bo Jackson back when he was actually playing at Auburn. Then he came back. He graduated in my school the quarter after I graduated, but he came back to get his degree because it was so important that you still get your degree.
Yeah.
But the college aspect of it is completely gone now.
Yeah, definitely. So, Shaq has come back to get a degree and a graduate degree.
Yeah.
It really is. And there's a great documentary about I forgot the name of it, about the Pony Express, about SMU. Oh, and another one about how professional players in their early 20s go broke. That's what it's called. It's called Broke is the name of the documentary. And those are guys in their 20s and 30s. These are guys getting all kind of money at 18 years old. So, I can imagine what is going to happen to those kids, a lot of them, after just a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're talking with Glenn Guillebeau from Tiger Rag Magazine, the editor. He will be in Alexandria tomorrow at Spirits from noon to 2 p.m. to sign copies of his Skip Bertman book. Warren Morris will be there. Warren wrote the foreword, so he'll be there also. And we'll continue our conversation with Glenn right after this.
Taking part in the show is easy. Call the BOM Bank Talk Line at 442-8255.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. More positivity on Wall Street today after yesterday's huge gains on hopes the U.S. and Iran are nearing a peace deal. Looks like SpaceX IPO is going to be a big hit today as shares launch. Derivatives linked to SpaceX indicate a gain of between 30 and 50% for Elon Musk's company as retailer investors flock to the new stock listing. Scammers are using Gemini AI to help build spam messages. Alphabet's Google filing a lawsuit against a suspected Chinese cybercrime operation Outside Enterprise, alleging the group used AI to send text messages with fraudulent links. And the rent is so high in New York, some women are now resorting to living with nuns. Wall Street Journal says rents for a room in a convent can be as low as $800 a month. Some renters say they like the sense of community and safety, and some nuns even take an active role in the lives of residents, including vetting their boyfriends and hosting social events. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at bofa.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR, presented by Juan Cigar Bar. College World Series is underway, and a massive official visitor weekend for LSU. We'll have it covered 3 to 6. Alexandria's 94.7 ESPN.
Oh, good morning. Starting out with some patchy fog in some spots this morning. That'll burn off quickly. The sky's becoming sunny. A warm day with the afternoon highs near 95. That heat index is high as 104 this afternoon. Be careful. You have to be out in that heat. 76 under clear skies overnight tonight. And then our Saturday looks like we'll start out the same. A little bit of fog, sunshine, 95 for the high. Good chance of rain on Sunday. From the Sedlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
Talkback. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
All right, we're back. Glenn Gilbo is our guest on Talkback, the editor of Tiger Rag Magazine, author of the book Everything Matters in Baseball, the Skip Bertman story. You can pick up a copy tomorrow at Spirits between noon and 2 p.m. as Glenn will be there to sign copies. He'll be joined by Warren Morris, who wrote the foreword for your book, Glenn, and I heard that's worth the book itself right there, the foreword.
That's right. That's right. You can bring books you may have already purchased. The book's been out a few years, and get Warren and I to sign them. Or you can buy new books for gifts. You know, Father's Day is a week from Sunday, and we're also going to be selling books pre-signed by Skip Bertman. He usually doesn't do that. He likes to sign them in person, but he hasn't been traveling as much lately. Health-wise, he is 88, but we have several books we'll be selling that he signed. So come on out and meet Warren, and I'll still be selling books after 2:00. I'll be hanging out there for a while after watching the baseball on the NCAA the World Series out on the back deck. So come on by.
That's a great place to watch a game. Let me say it that way.
Yep.
Trish has
grown from its original spot a little further down Texas that was there when I was at Town Talk.
Yeah, I remember when it was.
Oh yeah,
over there too. Now it's the Wildwood Pizza.
Yeah,
that's
which is fantastic too. But yeah, I remember that old Spirits.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife's from Shreveport. We stop at one or the other place every time we go through.
Oh, that's really cool. For people that aren't familiar with the book, you told us the other day that you kind of shared with us a little bit about Skip's involvement with it and how he had approached you about doing the book. And that has to just be such an honor that a man of that stature and magnitude would have asked you to help with that.
Well, I was his third choice. I was his close. He had a starting pitcher who said no, and then someone else said no. And actually, someone else, Leo Honeycutt, a great writer, wrote the bio of Edwin Edwards and other books. He did a complete book, but Skip pulled the plug on it right before it was to publish, and it never published.
Wow.
And that's why his name is on the book next to mine. I did use that book as a reference, but everything written in the new book is by me, except for the foreword by Warren. But so Skip came to me later, so I was happy to finish though, like I told him, like Rick Green or one of his great closers, right?
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoyed just talking to him so much, and then interviewing all the players. And I did most of the work during COVID when I was off of work, and got to interview a lot of the players. And naturally, they wanted to talk because it was about Skip. And some of them had already done interviews with Leo, so they did it again, including Warren. So they were very patient, and And, I got in on it after they had been working on it for years. So they gave me enough time still to get it done. But it was a lot of fun and work.
Is there anything surprising that you found out about Skip Bertman during your time of working on this project?
Well, I knew it a little bit, but the man's memory is unbelievable for detail. Even as he was in his mid 80s when I was interviewing him, and now 88, his just a great memory, and I mean, I would check everything with box scores and the old Advocate copies, and he was almost always right about what he said.
Wow.
And just really really sharp and remembered everything, and he was so many times. What the players kept telling me in separate interviews was how he told the future. It's like, okay, this guy's going to do this in the 7th inning, and it's the 3rd inning, and it would come out right, or this guy's going to ground out. He could tell by the way he was standing at the plate, and it's really, and he was very much into imagery, and Warren talks about that a little bit in the book. He had people thinking, he had his players thinking so positively that sometimes they would see things not quite as they were. Like Warren says, the home run he hit to beat Miami 30 years ago Monday, he said he thought it was right over the plate. Well, then when he watched the replay later that night in his hotel room on ESPN, he said, wow, that pitch is low and outside. I went and got it. But, so, Skip had him thinking so positively that he kind of messed with their mind sometimes, but in a good way.
Yeah. Did he ever have opportunity to go somewhere else than LSU, like even Major League Baseball? Did they ever kind of, offer him to maybe go to that level?
Not major leagues, but I touched on that in the book. He could have been the coach at Miami a couple of times when they were trying to hire new coaches, because that's where he was an assistant for so long.
Right.
And I think Texas was interested at one point. So yeah, he definitely could have left, but he really, at that time, coaches didn't move quite as much, and they kept up in his pay, though compared to what the coaches at LSU made after him in baseball, it's not even close,
Yeah.
But and he did interview for the South Alabama coaching job right before he interviewed at LSU, because Eddie Stanky had just retired from South Alabama, and they were a power at the time. They had gone to they had not gone to Omaha, but they had been in the playoffs a lot, much more than LSU. But he decided just to LSU because it was the only school in the state, is what he said, which is the same thing Saban said when he came into LSU.
Right. I think was South Alabama where Juan Pierre played college baseball?
Yeah, Juan Pierre. He was a big star at South Alabama. When I used to cover the Jaguars for the Mobile paper there in the late 90s before I went to the Baton Rouge Advocate, and Juan was on those teams. Some teams really should have been to Omaha. They just got unlucky. But yeah, and Juan was from Alexandria originally, right?
Yep. Yeah, played at Ash. Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah.
Had an amazing
great player.
MLB career that kind of underrated, really, in a lot of ways. So
right.
I don't know how LSU lost him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was an all-around. I mean, there was many good players. There just wasn't room for him. David DeLucci, if you remember, played with the Diamondbacks. He was from Baton Rouge, went to Ole Miss. Skip just didn't have room for him.
Wow.
Isn't DeLucci married to like one of the Price is Right models? Am I thinking of that?
I don't know. Again, the baseball trivia in your head also, Al. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's...
You got me on the Price is Right.
Okay. I think that's true, but someone could fact check me on that. And we've even from Central Louisiana had a lot of impact players with LSU. Obviously Warren, but a guy like Russ Springer. And, I remember when he retired the first time, and then I was working at the TV station, and Mark Hamlin sent me up there to Grand Parish to interview him because he was going to sign with the Astros and play at their AAA in New Orleans at the time. And it was a cool story because he basically was playing softball, and he was playing shortstop, and he was throwing the ball so hard to first base. His brother was playing first base. He's like, man, you should try coming back. And if you remember, Russ came back for 4 or 5 years of really good pitching, and there was even kind of a famous incident with him and Barry Bonds.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Wow.
so he made a little coin at the end of his career, which was nice.
Oh, I did a lot on Russell because I was at the Town Talk when he was playing at LSU. When Skip had some of his greatest pitching staffs ever. I mean, he had Russell Springer, Ben McDonald, Curtis Laskanik. And, Russell had an arm injury, and I did an investigative piece on that. And this tells you something about Skip. The story was pretty hard on Skip because some people thought he used Russell too much. And I wrote the stories, and Skip got mad, but then he was good with it. He understood what I was doing, and he still asked me to do the book, 20 years later.
Right.
But the funny thing is, Russell had these arm issues, but he pitched for 20 years. So Skip must have not really hurt his arm that much,
Right.
The guy could have pitched longer, but he had some family obligations, and he finally just had to kind of go back home. But man, he had a great career, bounced back and forth, maybe once or twice, but I remember he pitched for the Astros. I'm a big Astro fan, in some key playoff games, and he was with the Braves. He was with a bunch of teams, and he was one of the regrets. I didn't get to talk to him for the book, but great guy, and really enjoyed covering him. We used to run his diary in the Town Talk when he was in minor league baseball.
Oh.
He would do a diary for us once a week, like in the early 90s there.
Huh. Wow. Back when the Town Talk was great.
It was a good paper, man. It was.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people working there. Libby Cole, Mark Hamlin's wife, and Mike Lau and Doug Ireland, Greg Langley, and just a bunch of great people. It's sad that like a lot of papers, it's just not really there anymore. Almost.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we need to take another break. We'll continue with Glenn after this.
Taking part in the show is easy. Call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255.
A man's word should still mean something. Honesty matters. Character matters. So when John Fleming was hauled into court twice in 2 months for running untruthful ads filled with lies, and twice forced to take down the lies, that tells you everything about who Fleming really is. Fleming's lies couldn't hold up before a judge, and his lies shouldn't hold up with you. Fleming hasn't just been lying in his ads. He's been lying to cover up his liberal record. Fact. In Congress, Fleming voted against Republican border security funding. Fact. Fleming gave your tax dollars to Barack Obama to protect sanctuary cities and block the deportation of illegals. Fact. Fleming lied about his job with President Trump. Lie after lie after lie. John Fleming is a fraud who cannot be trusted. Visit FlemingIsAfraud.com. Accountability Project paid for and is responsible for this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AccountabilityProject.la.
Finding the right catering service with the right menu can be overwhelming. When it comes to catering, you should always serve Louisiana's best, Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse. Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse has all chef-prepared and freshly served food for you and your guests. Let it be special. Let Cole's cater your next event or family gathering. Call 613-8800 or visit colesbbq.com for their catering menu.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back with Glenn Guilbeau from Tiger Rag, and author of the book Everything Matters in Baseball, the Skip Bertman story. You can meet him and Warren Morris tomorrow from noon to 2 at Spirits Food and Friends here in Alexandria. One last thing about the Town Talk, we have to mention the great Bob Tompkins as well.
Oh, yes. Bob is going to be there tomorrow. He said he might drop by. Kathy Caloyne used to work at the Town Talk when I was there. John Marcates, of course. Former Town Talk employees do get one drink free from Glenn Guilbeau. And a separate reunion on the side of the Warren Morris stuff. But those were good times. I was at the Town Talk from 1987 to 1993. Actually had my going away party at the original Spirits there in August of 93. Had a great time with Gary Perkins. Wow. Gary Perkins been invited as well to come, the original Spirits owner from Pineville. Great guy.
You picked the perfect spot to hold this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just for people to come and enjoy themselves, hang out. What a great spot. So good choice.
And Warren lives right near Spirits, I'm told.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I interviewed Warren for the 10-year anniversary or 20-year anniversary of his home run with his mom and dad back in 2016. His parents have both passed since then, but had a great time with both of them. You know, his dad was a great coach back in the day, high school and baseball and basketball, I think mainly was his sport.
Right. Yeah, because Warren was a really good basketball player at
Really?
high school. Yeah.
See, the things I just still didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
Right. Warren has an older brother too, who played for his dad as well, basketball.
Okay. Nice. Good stories. I mean, yeah, ironically, when I first moved down here in 2000-ish, I applied at the Town Talk, and I remember John gave me a call, but they didn't
hire you, huh?
So I haven't held it against them. Let's put it that way. I was more broadcast oriented anyway, but no, I've done a few freelance articles for the years for the Town Talk. Back when, did you know Randy Benson when he was here as the editor?
Oh yeah, I knew Randy because see later when I left the Advocate and went to Gannett, I covered LSU for all the Gannett papers, one of which was the Town Talk. So it was kind of like I was working for the Town Talk again, and Randy Benson was the editor. But and Mark Hayes was there at the time. But I apologize for all Town Talk employees that we didn't hire you, man. We should have hired you.
All right, that makes me feel better.
I know we hired, like me. We should have hired you.
Okay, that soothes my feelings a little bit.
But then you wouldn't have ended up here, Al.
That's right.
It would have changed the trajectory of everything.
Yep.
Mark Hayes started for the Town Talk when he was still in college at LC, formerly Louisiana College, and he was what we call an agate clerk. You know, he would go get all the box scores and everything, and just extremely knowledgeable young kid. You know, he was still in high. No, he was in college though, but he had gone to Pineville High. Yeah, but really, really, really bright kid. And then he ended up being sports editor and had a great career.
Yeah, definitely. And now working in PR, he's gone to the dark side. And even worse, now he's a politician too.
Yes, he just won an election. Yeah, so be careful what you say.
No, he's a fantastic guy, and just someone I always enjoy talking with for sure. So, as far as kind of the horizon of sports and everything, people are excited about this coming LSU season for football, and we talk about NIL and the transfer portal. My goodness, the money LSU has spent. So the expectations I know are going to be off the chart. What are your thoughts on what we're looking for with LSU football this year?
Well, I think they're going to be much improved. They're going to be much more fun to watch. They're going to have a really good running game because Lane Kiffin always has that. He's going to have a healthy quarterback. Garrett Nussmeier was really good, but he was hurt last year. And Sam Levitt is over his foot injury. And Lane just brought in so many players. He signed 2 portal classes, really, 40 players. He's got enough guys for a couple of years. And he finished off a pretty good recruiting class from Brian Kelly from last year as well. So they're going to be very good. Now, I wouldn't just automatically say they're going to make the playoffs, but if they don't, they'll be close and they'll be much better, you know. But the key is they're going to be really good and consistently good for several years under him because that's what he did at Ole Miss, which is a more difficult job. So, and they're all in. I mean, they're spending all their money. LSU spending all their money and everybody else's money and money they don't have yet on football, you know. And it's really sad because that's the worst thing about the NIL is that, you know, other things are just getting ignored for football and men's basketball.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to start seeing that more and more, particularly the smaller schools. You know, they're just not doing the same things with finances that they used to because they have such a burden with these sports. Now they can get some of it back, obviously, they're already getting it back in basketball with Will Wade, but it's there's no end game. There's not a good end game, as Nick Saban says. It's not sustainable. So that's why there's got to be changes.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to watch and to see where it all ends up going. I mean, but I mean, if I had told you a year ago that LSU basketball would have Will Wade as their head coach again, and Coach O would be on the staff of Lane Kiffin coaching at LSU, you probably would have thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
And Johnny Jones is back with the basketball team.
Yep.
You know, it is. It's unbelievable. And smart. You know, that's a good strategy, I think, to bring coaches who are already at the school back. You see it happen here and there, you know, but they have institutional knowledge, and plus Coach O and Coach Jones are really good recruiters. And that's what a great leader does. Like Wade has a better staff now than he had his first time at LSU. Wade tried to do everything, which part of the reason he got in trouble, that he had, you know, young green assistants. Now he's got guys he can really turn to. Yeah. And Lane did the same thing. You know, Lane doesn't have the social outward personality that Ed Orgeron does that lends itself to recruiting. So that was a great move by Lane. But Lane's a pretty good recruiter in his own way, but it's good to have that type of guy in Coach O as well. Yeah. Well, Glenn, we're out of time, but thank you so much for spending this morning with us. And again, folks, tomorrow from noon to 2 at Spirit Food and Friends here in Alexandria, Glenn will be there along with Warren Morris signing copies of Everything Matters in Baseball, the Skip Bertman story. And hope it's a great turnout for you. And thanks so much for spending the time with us today. It's also a Town Talk reunion. So you Town Talkers from the 80s and 90s.
Be there.
There you go. There you go. All right. Thanks so much, Glenn. We'll talk with you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye. We'll be right back.
Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show, is now everywhere you are. Talkback is now streaming live on X at Sedla Update, plus Facebook and YouTube at KSYL.
Problems. Everybody hates them, but everybody's got them. And now that it's getting hot again, you need to know about Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Got a cooling problem? Call Southern Air. Plumbing or drain problem? It's Southern Air again. Your power's out and you need a generator? Guess who? And keep those problems away all summer long with a system tune-up. Keep your family comfortable. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling now at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Remember when eating corn right off the cob was one of your favorite summertime treats? Or how about taking a big bite out of a crisp, fresh apple? If it's been a while since you enjoyed these delightful activities, chances are your teeth are no longer up for the task. But now there's great news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville are Cenla's dental implant experts. They're both highly trained and experienced in the procedure. Now with thousands of completely satisfied, delighted patients. They make dental implant surgery simple by using today's most current technologies. Along with in-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist, you'll be in and out before you know it, without all the anxiety. Plus, at Today's Dental, their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Go back to crunching all your favorite foods. Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 448-4540.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app. Know before you go.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
You know, they say, Trish, that with the IPO for SpaceX today, that it will create a reported 4,000 new millionaires.
Could I be one of them?
I hope so.
That'd be awesome.
I don't think it'll be me, but oh well.
It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you going to watch World Cup?
I'll watch some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not like I never played soccer. My kids only played when they were really little, so I'm not the most educated in soccer so much, but it will be fun to watch. It's going to be fun. I'm telling you, I'm going to stay on Twitter or X, whatever the heck, and watch all these people that are coming to follow their teams and what they're doing while they're visiting America.
Here's one.
I've been driving for 5 minutes now and I can't wipe the smile off my face. I'm driving a Ram truck in America. Like, look how sick it is. Country music on the radio. Go on. I'm going to Hooters in a Ram truck in America, boys. Yeehaw! Praise for freedom.
I was saying, you might have to be careful playing some of those clips, Al, because a lot of the clips I've played are probably not appropriate for the radio. Have you seen the one that somebody posted? It was the dead of night, and the Scotts have arrived at the Airbnb across the street. They're all decked out and playing the pipes at 6:30 a.m., and he's videoing the guy playing the bagpipes at 6:30 a.m. on the street. He goes, and so it begins. I'm like, this is just going to be so great to watch. You know? I love it.
Might actually make soccer interesting.
Welcome to America.
All right, still not as fun as baseball. Anyway.
Or college football.
Hey, thanks for sitting in today. We had a lot of fun.
You're welcome. It is very, very fun.
All right. Stephen will be back on Monday. I'll be here with you as well. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll talk with you then.